Okay, we have Kenny in the chair now. Kenny's a pretty handsome guy, but he's got a few minor skin irregularities we're going to address today. First, I'm going to cleanse him while I'm looking at him under the light. We've already discussed some of his issues, but I'll discuss them with you on camera here as well. I'm going to wash you with something nice and warm, Kenny. It's just a green tea cleanser. And Kenny has an issue, I'm just going to turn your head here, Kenny, with obviously some sebaceous hyperplasia that has bothered him. He didn't know how to get rid of them. He said he's tried to poke them with a needle and do all kinds of crazy things. So the Skin Classic treatment is perfect for that type of irregularity. As I wash his skin, I'm looking for any other irregularities. I don't see too many that he has. The sebaceous hyperplasia is really what plagues him. He may have a few broken capillaries, and we'll address those as well today. Instead of doing the microdermabrasion on Kenny, I wanted to show you all how I dermaplane. Dermaplaning is a really nice procedure. It does not take the place of microdermabrasion, but it does relieve the skin of the stratum corneum. And that's important in any kind of treatment. Right now, Kenny, I'm just going to wipe the skin with a tonic that has alpha hydroxy and witch hazel in it. Just helps to degrease the skin for our treatments and helps take down more cells as well. And again, I'm looking for more minor skin irregularities as I'm close to the skin under the light. Yeah, and you can just keep your eyes closed. Okay, now with my Q-tip, I'm going to identify the minor skin irregularities like I do with all my clients. And I can see that Kenny has quite a few sebaceous hyperplasias. These are small, these are obviously large. These will get larger, so I will address all of them so that they don't get larger. So he's got them here, all throughout the forehead. He does have a few clogged pores in the form of blackheads, and we'll get those as well. And it's always a misconception of clients, a little brown spot, some more sebaceous hyperplasia, that people get blackheads or clogged pores because they don't wash enough. That's simply not true. Some people develop more oil in their skin, more sebaceous hyperplasia, along with some broken capillaries in here, maybe from all the digging and exercising he did on these sebaceous hyperplasias. I don't know. But he's got a little cluster here, like a little spider nevi. We can take care of that as well as all these other sebaceous hyperplasias. Now, Kenny, when I do the sebaceous hyperplasias with the Skin Classic, it does ouch a little bit. I won't lie to you. And it heats up the sebum, and it'll come right out of the skin. So for whatever discomfort there is, it will definitely take care of them. So first I'm going to start with the derma planing, and I use a surgical blade and a surgical handle. I just slip it on like so. This does take some practice. So what I do is the same schematic that I use on the microdermabrasion, I do with this. I'll start at the forehead, and I just go back and forth with the very bottom of the blade. I never toe it in. I don't use the sharp point at all. Kenny, how does that feel?
Like sandpaper.
Like sandpaper, okay. And this way, as well as taking off the stratum corneum, I'm also getting even closer to the minor skin irregularities, and I may see some that I didn't see initially. For your clients that exfoliate a lot at home, when you do the derma planing, you will see a lot of skin come off. Not as much with the non-exfoliating clients. Now, it also removes any vellus hair as well. And the vellus hair comes back just as soft as it is on the face. So if your women clients are a little less inclined to do this because they're afraid the hair may come back coarse, that's not true. It will come back exactly the way it should. But as we get older, some of our hairs do come in coarse. So just let them know they're going to come back just as they were intended to come back. Okay, I'm going to turn you. And again, we'll do this just like we do the microdermabrasion. I use the mask. I'm going to turn you a little more. There we go. And now you're going to get a cervical adjustment too, huh, Kenny?
Mm-hmm. I was looking for a facelift.
That's the next video.
Double chin.
And around the eyes, just take extra caution. And so you can see a lot of that nice stratum corneum, a little bit of vellus hair coming off. Is that you, Sir Kenny?
Could be, don't worry about it.
Okay, I'm going to turn you this way. Now, if this was a woman, you would be using the same schematic, but of course Kenny's got facial hair. And you can go back and forth. You can go two different ways when you do derma planing, up and down and back and forth. I don't tend to do a diagonal as well, but I do like to just get in as close as I can to different places. If you accidentally nick the skin, just a little Vaseline will take care of that. We never dermaplane the nose. Okay, Kenny, so we're going to go ahead and start the Skin Classic treatment. And just like we discussed earlier on the laminated guide, we're going to use our 012, and we're going to do this in a circular fashion. It'll be very evident on the large ones how we do this. Okay. Again, it's always important to start on the forehead, trying to be real methodical, but also less pain sensitivity there. The client can get used to the procedure when you do it on the forehead first. Okie dokie. So Kenny, I'm just going to give you a little touch. And first I'm going to turn your head here. And I'm never going to penetrate the skin, Kenny. I don't go into the skin at all. I'm always on top of it. The high frequency will deliver the energy to the sebaceous hyperplasia, and the sebum is attracted to the probe. It actually heats up and comes right out through the skin, kind of like butter. So let me just give you a little touch here.
One way of putting it.
Does that seem to be okay for you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, great. I'm just going to go ahead and fire away. Even though he says it like that, I do tend to want to be very careful, because sometimes my clients say, oh, it's no problem, but they may, after a while, decide they can't take it. See, you see how that just came right out of the skin, just like butter. Now I don't have any current on, my foot's off the pedal, so it's real soft, and see, it's all gooey. You don't have to, I don't like to completely wipe it away. I'm just going to dry it. That will fall right out during the week. As he washes normally, the pore is open, everything will dry up and fall out. So there's no need to be wiping every single one. It just over-traumatizes the skin. And see, they're tiny little circles all the way around. Now this, you can see the middle of the pore there, and what I'm going to do is start here, go around, 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 circle, circle, and one in the middle. Here's a blackhead. I'm just going to go in perpendicularly. There we go. Good. Another.
Get a total work order today.
Yeah. More sebaceous hyperplasia. So clients who have sebaceous hyperplasia have not really had any success in being able to rid themselves of this. It's been one of those real problems for them, and the estheticians as well. If you go to the dermatologist, I'm sure the derm will mostly say, well, don't worry, that's no problem. But to do all of these sebaceous hyperplasias in a derm's office would be terribly expensive. To do, and they may use a hyfricator, which is more of a cauterizer. You can see some sebaceous hyperplasia here. Circle, 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 circle. Comes right out through the skin. Circle, 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 circle. One in the middle. You barely are touching the skin, but the energy delivers right into the sebaceous hyperplasia and pulls it right out of the skin. You okay, Kenny?
Yeah.
Good.
Well, I can definitely feel it.
Oh yeah. So for about 5 to 7 days, perhaps a week, little blackhead here, you they may no current on. I'm just going to stretch this pore, and remember, I'm just stretching the pore. I'm not making the pore really any larger. So there we go. So it will close up nicely. You don't have to worry about that you've made the pore too large. I'm going to go ahead and turn you this way, Kenny. I'm going to do this mask area here. Circle, 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 circle. One in the middle. Circle, 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 circle. One in the middle. You can go clockwise or counterclockwise. It doesn't matter. I'm going to be very methodical like I do my microdermabrasion. I'm going to work in strips going toward the nose. There's less sensitivity out here, a little more here, a little more, a little more. So I like to work from the outside in. You can sometimes hear that sebum just sizzle. It gets hot. Okay, now here's a very large one. So Kenny, when you're healing this week, this may look white and it may look like a chicken pox because the sebum that's in there is drying up, falling out, and it'll have like a little dished look to it until the skin just normally closes over it. Okay, go ahead and close. You okay?
Mm-hmm.
And there's some down here. This was a large, large one. Okay. So you can see that it's all up off the skin now. I'm just going to leave that alone. Let me.
I hate the word blackhead. It makes me feel dirty.
Okay, so that's a good thought right there. Blackheads, the reason we get blackheads is because we have an overactive cell, and that overactive cell secretes a lot of sebum. When the sebum comes to the surface of the skin, it oxidizes.
I have an itch.
And when it oxidizes, it turns dark. That's what can happen when you wipe your sebaceous hyperplasias off. So I just want to show you that so that you don't do that.
Well, I
It'll
work in
just
the
ooze.
I work in the dust a lot anyway, so it's like,
Okay. Okie dokie. Now, I'm going to move forward here with some more. Circle, wait a minute. Circle, 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 circle. Give them a little rest. Circle, circle. Now, you just leave it like that because it will dry up and fall off. If you wipe it away, you may ooze a little bit, so we don't want that to happen. We want our treatments to be as light and ginger as possible. Okay, I'm going to turn it this way. Now we're going to clear out this side of the face. There's one right there. So just remember, the probe isn't going into the skin, and you have to have the skin stretched really well because there's no current on. You never want to see the skin dimpling in. You want to have it nice and taut and barely touch. If you see this, then you're actually pressing too hard.
In other words, you gotta have a very steady hand.
A very steady hand helps. Circle, 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 one in the middle. Now Kenny's really prone to these, so somebody like him may want another treatment, say 6 months down the road. If he sees small ones occur, he may think, okay, time to get him taken care of. Now that he has a friend in the business and he knows where he can go have it done, you want to do that. But they take a while to develop. Kenny's my age, and so we've been on the planet for a while. He's had a long time to have these develop, but they develop very small, like these ones on his forehead first.
24?
Yeah, 24. Okay. A few right in here on the bridge of the nose, or the side of the nose here. So you can see that you can really fire away at many skin irregularities in one session. So that's why I like to do the full treatment. So what I'm going to do now, I think we've done all that I can see in the sebaceous hyperplasia department. I'm going to go ahead and take care of a few of his capillaries too while we're here. Sound good, Kenny?
It's capillary.
A little broken capillaries?
The veins?
Yeah. So I'm going to switch my probe to our Telan probe, and that one is a little smaller than the 012 that we've been using, a little bit more precise. Although his capillaries are a little larger, you could interchange it and use the 012, but some of his capillaries are tiny, so I will use it at this. Set my intensity for the capillaries. Oh, Kenny, don't cry. There we go. It does bring a tear to the eye, that's right.
Yeah, it's just kind of different.
Okay, so I can see these little bits of capillaries here. They're just right on the cheek, and that kind of gives him a rosier complexion that he may not like, but this will quell some of the redness in his face. So, as demonstrated in the other treatments, it's tap 2, 3, tap 2, 3, tap 2, 3. Tap 2, 3, tap 2, 3, tap 2, 3, tap 2, 3. These are tiny, tiny. And this is what your rosacea clients might look like on their cheek. Little tiny, tiny veins, and a little tedious to do for you and the client, but it really gives a beautiful result. So your clients will be extremely happy. Much over there. Now he's got some bigger capillaries there on the nose, which are very visible. So, tap 2, 3, tap 2, 3, tap 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. You okay, Kenny? Am I letting you breathe? Okay. So you just follow the vein, the capillary, all the way to the beginning. Very important to make sure that you do stay on the capillary long enough that the high frequency comes in contact with the skin, so that the fluid in the capillary will escape its compartment and then it'll be absorbed in the rest of the tissue. Doing pretty good there. I have this little cluster here that we'll work on. And this probably feels a lot better than on the nose.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Tap 2, 3. Barely touching the skin. And that little area is gone. Just a couple little capillaries here, and then we'll be done, Kenny. I'll cool you down with some nice aloe and our cold hammer that we use on our microdermabrasion machine. And I'll put some moisturizing sunblock on you. If you're outside today working or doing any kind of work outside, make sure that you either reapply your moisturizing sunblock and try to wear a hat.
Mm-hmm.
That's important, especially out here. We're up so close to the sun, the altitude, and so many days of sunshine here in Colorado. It's very important to use sunblock every day, whether it's raining, snowing, or no matter what it's doing. And I bet you don't do that, do you?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, you don't have extreme sun damage to
Nor
your
a
skin.
hat.
Right. You do
Try
it.
to.
Right. Okay. You don't have extreme sun damage, but you do have some damage in the form of broken capillaries and such. So that is also sun damage. So right now I'm going to go ahead and put a little aloe on. That'll certainly get your...
She say something about a cold hammer?
Yeah, baby. Yeah, it'll cool
That
you down.
scared me. I didn't know something like that.
The coolness will actually help close up the pores and also topically cools the skin as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to apply this. That's aloe. So 5 to 7 to 12 days, depending on how well you heal, you will you'll have a little white crustiness to the areas, and the white will fall out, just go away all on its own. So you're going to just wash normally. You don't have to use any special product. Just make sure that whatever you're washing with doesn't have alcohol or anything like that in it to aggravate the skin.
Don't use alcohol then.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, no alcohol on the skin. And go ahead and moisturize with sunblock. Just keep the skin highly moisturized if you can, especially if you're outside. Does that feel good?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't that feel nice? So any form of cool that you have in your office, whether it's ice or frozen peas in a bag is really nice. By the time the peas defrost, there's no chance of frostbite, so that you won't over-traumatize the skin.
In my case, that would be a frozen bottle of water.
There we go. Yeah. Okay, so let's take a look at Kenny's sebaceous hyperplasia before I put on any moisturizing sunblock on. You can see some of them really look white where the sebum is right out of the skin. This is what will happen if you try to wipe them off. So don't wipe them off, just keep them looking that white. That'll dry up and fall out in the next couple of days. But if you do, you're aggravating the skin, and we're not in the business of removal, we're in the business of treating. So you want to treat it and leave it be, then it'll just go away.
I just wash my face normal.
Just normal, nothing rough. Don't use a buff puff, don't use any washcloth at this point. Wait until these areas have dried up and feel completely smooth. Then you can start using a washcloth or whatever form you use. But always something gentle while you're going through this healing process. Okay, gave you a pretty good coat there. I'm going to hand you a mirror. Okay, just hang on to that mirror here for a minute. You can open your eyes because I just want to show you and explain to you as well. So, yeah, so see how they look white?
Mm-hmm.
That means that they're open and they're going to dry out, go away. Some of them look whiter than others, but they were all treated. And then they will just dry up and fall. Now your broken capillaries, you want to be particularly careful with those too, which you're going to be careful. You don't want to scratch, or when you dry your skin after
Right.
you wash, don't rub real hard with any kind of towels.
Okay.
Okay, Kenny? Great. Well, you were fabulous, and you're going to look wonderful.
Hang on. Look.
Okay, so before Kenny left, I just asked him if he had any skin tags, like I ask all my lady clients, and he said yes, he does. So we're going to help Kenny out with that today. He's got the skin tag under his arm, and we're just going to relieve him of that. So I have had my current adjusted on the machine. I use my 012 my tag probe for the tags. Okay, so I'm gonna wipe this off. This one definitely has a stalk, so we want to use our tweezer to distract it. Okay, Ken, you're just gonna feel a little heat. Seem to be okay? Does ouch a little bit, you can tell us that's.
Yeah, that's fine.
Now he's had this for a while, right, Kenny?
It's probably been growing for about 2 or 3 years,
Okay.
maybe a little longer.
Okay. There. It's all gone.
That's all there was to do.
That's all there was to it.
It'll be done.
There we go. Okay. Do you have any more?
Nope.
Okay.